Cars USA, yeah!
This is Car Bros Podcast, episode 29.
The big two now.
Thank you.
I can't start until you say that. Welcome back, fellow Car Bros. Hello to our patrons right off the bat. Patreon's heating up. Thank you for that.
Yep, and thanks for participating in the live stream.
Hope you enjoyed the live
A
stream
lot of
last
fun.
week. That was a blast. We enjoy those. Hopefully you do too.
We'll try to do it again soon.
If you're interested in becoming a patron, and I haven't said this in a while, I don't know if we have new audience members or what. Patreon is a website where you can sign up to donate money to us. It helps us financially. If you want to sign up to be a patron for as little as $3 a month, you can have access to like behind the scenes stuff. We put like cutting room floor things from videos, unreleased stuff. We have some car review kind of things. Like it's pretty fun stuff. None of it's like polished enough to be on the channel,
But it's fun.
But it's cool behind the scenes stuff. So if you're like a super fan, if you really enjoy this,
And there's the Patreon community.
yeah, and there's the community of other like super fans. So if you want to find your tribe, it's a pretty good place for that. So link is in the description below, or you can Google Car Bros Patreon, sign up, say what up to us if you want to talk to us directly. It's a good place to do it. Also, if you can continue to rate this podcast on iTunes, that helps.
Let's get up there.
So I think, was it last podcast or maybe one before it? Someone had asked about motorcycles and like
it was
our experience.
It was a few weeks ago.
Our experience with it. And John was talking about his. He's pretty much the only.
My CBR 1000.
Yeah, he's the lead.
He's the squid.
Yeah, the lead squid.
Yeah. And so it reminded me, I have a buddy, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Yeah, what's up, Chris? Chris Hade. He's just one of those people. I don't know if you have friends like this who just like, not only do they have a lot of stories, but they're really good at animated. Telling their stories. And so he's one of those guys. And so you can like, I used to work with him, and you could tell when he was telling a story.
Gather around.
Like he'd be like 20 feet away, and he's like, and then I'm in my car doing donuts, and I'm like, wee.
Yeah.
You can like hear him from, it's like, oh, Chris is telling a good story. So I went and asked him to tell his motorcycle story because that podcast reminded me. So I'm going to throw it in here. I recorded him. I'm going to throw it in here. So enjoy Chris's motorcycle story. Okay, so you tell what is the story about your friend on a motorcycle or something?
Yeah, my first motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my friend Tiger Havel, Richard Tiger Havel. He had this RD 350, and he just got it from Jim and Jim's Yamaha in downtown Davis, and he was drinking the night before, and he didn't notice that the curb was square and not radiused, and he put a big V in his front rim.
Oh,
but it didn't pop the tire. So he asked me, hey, do you want to take the motorcycle with me? We'll go drop it off, get it fixed, and then we'll have to walk back. No, not that interested. And so he says, well, I'll buy you some Jack in the Box on the way home. So I said, all right, I'll go for that. I think I was like 13.
Sweeten the
deal. He was
deal.
like 18, right? And so I'm riding on the back of his bike, and we're going down Russell Boulevard, and he's probably going, 35 or 40 miles an hour, and you can feel the front tire going, ga, 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 ga. And all of a sudden it blows out, and next thing I know, we're on the ground, and I ended up kind of on top of him, and I had my hands had touched the pavement as we were skidding along, and I was like, oh, that hurt. And I kind of crawled up on top of him, and I'm like, this is kind of shitty, using him as a human skateboard, but he's never going to know I'm really doing this. But it was just like a weight on a hamburger, just grinding him into the pavement. And I felt terrible. And then we got to the end, and I had like not a scratch on me, and he was just rashed, like unbelievably rashed. It was one of the shittiest things I've ever done in my life.
Pretty sweet.
That's
I mean, that's just basic survival instinct.
survival instincts kicks in. Something like that happens.
I hope they still went to Jack in the Box.
Yeah, I asked him later. I was like, "So did you get your Jack in the Box?" He's like, "No."
What?
That and the other story with Tyler, I should have kept recording because he like got on the ground. He's like, "I'm not sure how I balanced." He's like acting it out. He's like, "I must have." He's like, "I must have been up like this on all fours," and he's like, "I was really on top of him." But oh man, I just like the image of putting a weight on a hamburger to cook it.
Yeah.
Like, to make
Smush it down.
To even it out.
to
Yeah.
make it cook faster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so vivid. So yeah, thanks for that, Chris.
Yeah.
Appreciate that story. Be safe out there, people, when you're writing.
I also like how you said it was his first.
Yeah, he's got plenty. I'll go back and get some more stories out of that guy. He's got some good ones. Anyways, so you guys both did a track day, right? About a
Yeah.
week ago?
Yeah,
Or
it
no,
was
less.
well. It'll be
Yeah,
2 weeks ago as of this
Same
posting.
thing.
But yes,
So how was that? STI.
yeah, it was.
It was John's.
It was my first
debut.
first track day, like
And
big boy track day.
Big Boy Track Day and like a bunch of mods.
Right, and the first time driving the STI after all
like
the
shakedown.
yeah.
Shakedown Track Day.
But yeah, it was a blast. Like the STI is nuts now. Like
Yeah.
it's just that the huge. I put a huge APR wing on the back of it, and just the front mount and the downpipe now, and it's just a complete blast with the KWs. Like I was taking high speed corners. Like I couldn't even find the limit of like the grip of the tires with all the aero now and stuff. Like.
Yeah, it's way up there.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's dangerously high.
Yeah.
Where like if it goes bad, you're like
Yeah, the level of grip is higher than like my confidence of driving the car, like my fear factor.
Right.
So
It was a fast track layout.
yeah, it
too.
was like the fast track layout at Buttonwillow. So
what were you guys doing on? Wasn't there a pretty serious straight on that thing?
Yeah, the layout they used was like essentially the fastest, longest.
it like avoids the bus stop chicane. So like instead of having to do a little bus stop, it's like just a straight for like I don't know how long, but like a half a mile. Probably.
What kind of speeds were you guys hitting?
Like 125 probably.
Yeah, my car was like 118.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Dang.
John
and then
tells
into the brakes pretty hard.
Yeah.
No, it's more like a sweeper. So you just
okay.
like you need to like scrub off enough
off a bit.
speed.
No,
to
like
stay with
after the hill, there's that one straight where that like lead it into like not a hairpin, but like a pretty tight hairpin. So we were going like
Oh yeah.
120 down to
part,
like
yeah.
down to like 60.
Yeah, but like the sweeper was like the
Right. Yeah.
scariest.
Yeah.
Sweep.
part.
Like a high speed sweeping turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
overall good.
yeah, no major problems for me. Like, I mean, I did have oil temp. Like after like
That
three.
bird had a problem.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, one of my first laps, like, I'm learning the track still, and just like you're going like 100 miles an hour, like we said,
Right.
And like I see this white object, and I thought it was like a paper bag, like flying through the air,
Yeah,
and like so I didn't like. Obviously, I'm not going to course correct at 100 miles an hour,
Right.
And like I see it just fly in front of my hood. And I was like, I heard like a pretty substantial impact. And I was like, well, that wasn't a paper bag. Like it wouldn't do that. And so I immediately, like, finished the lap and pulled into the pits. And like, I'm like going down the pits, and like one of the, someone sitting on the wall, like turns around and looks at it. And he just like the look on his face was just like confusion and like
that's
what? And so I was
good
like
sign.
a little worried. I was like, what happened? Like is like the front bumper dented? Is the hood cracked or what? And then he's like, is that intentional? And I was like, what are you talking about? And so I get out of the car, and there's a bird wedged in between like my hood and the front bumper is the carcass. But then when you pop the hood, it's entire guts. It just like because it had hit the belts.
Oh,
and just
paper.
There were like organs.
Yeah.
spread
There was like
across the engine.
Dang. What a way to go.
yeah, it was quick and painless probably, but
Well, yeah, sure.
You should just leave all that stuff there and never.
yeah,
clean it
I
up.
haven't. Yeah, they removed the carcass and then it just went back out.
Yeah, it's like when you go off-roading and you leave the mud on your car, just leaving like bird guts.
Well, I have
in your engine bay.
my engine bay has the red motif going already, so the blood matched it.
This just added to it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, after like 3, because there wasn't like I never really got like ton amount of traffic. I mean, instead of because there weren't that many cars in each run group and stuff like that.
It was a good number to not be too
So
annoyed.
we would do like hot laps back to back to back pretty much. And after like 3 hot laps, my oil temps were like 260, which is
that's
pretty up there.
That's hot.
So I don't know why it was running so hot because it was a cool day, but so I would just like pull off and let the car cool down and stuff like that. But,
well, you have added power and speed.
Yeah. I don't know.
Beyond the stock cooling capabilities.
So I have the tuner bug.
The tuner bug is returned.
Back, yeah. Ordered a front or a top mount oil cooler, which would be pretty sweet now that I have the front mount. And then sitting in the corner of the kitchen is a new oil pan and pickup and baffle. And stuff.
So instead of the top mount intercooler, you put a oil cooler.
Yeah,
that's how it should have been.
One company makes like a top mount oil cooler that fits in the place where the
that's cool
stock top mount intercooler.
And then what does the oil pan do? Is it like extra capacity?
It's just a larger capacity.
Sweet.
And like whatever the pickup is, like a smoother route than like the OEM pickup and stuff like
cool.
that.
So it's like better under cornering.
Right. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that.
And the baffle, keeps it.
But it was cool because there was like a whole bunch of us. There's probably like 6
or 7 of us.
6 or 7 like people that we know.
In your group
that all went, and like doing a track day is fun, but doing it with a bunch of people is like probably like the funnest thing you can do in a car. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like, you just want to like go out and follow me.
Yeah, because even if you're behind one of your friends and like quote unquote he's holding you up, it's still fun. Like you don't feel pissed off as if it was like a random stranger. You're like, get out of my way, or like if you don't mind doing like the drag strip race in the straight.
It's like a combination of like street racing and like driving in a canyon and just like cruising, except it's all legal.
Hanging out in the pits. Loitering.
Yeah, track days with several people are fucking sweet.
But that was your second Buttonwillow Track day on the Type R, right?
It's still I
OEM
essentially
tires.
finished off my tires.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll throw a picture up of just how fucked up
the
they are.
front ones were pretty chunked and falling apart.
Yeah, but
so Garrett had it's Garrett's car, and so he pulls off into the pits and he's like, my front tires are kind of fucked, and so like 4 of us like get out of jack and like some stuff like that, and like we essentially performed a pit stop while Garrett just sat and watched all the friends like they rotated the tires.
There's like a couple guys that were like professional, like they work in like the Costco tire shop.
But you got out of the car?
Yeah, he got out of the car and just watched.
Stayed in there.
I should have.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, I was like, it took like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we just swapped fronts to rears.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's luxury.
But I was just like making fun of Garrett because it's like, dude, it's your car. Like, at least take off your lug nuts or something. Like,
I was trying. There's just too many guys.
An effort.
There's too many mechanics.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Just got to back up.
If I would have had a Slurpee to drink while they were doing it,
that would have been sweet. Supervising.
Yeah, a little hydrate.
Yeah, the Type R was good, except for the tires are essentially done.
You gonna tuner bug it?
I have wheels that are just waiting
to
go on. That I'm just waiting for the tires.
They're 18s.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
That will be nice. Next time out.
Tuner bug.
But you're
tuner bug sitting.
I'm sure. Like obviously, we never got to be close to each other on the track. No. I was next to our friend with a Camaro, SS 1LE most of the time. Yeah, which was fun because. Obviously he's slightly faster in the straights, and it was his first track day with a Camaro too, so we were just both learning it. But like the STI was like keeping up with it, and I was like, hell yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
it's legit.
But your brother drove the Type R because
my brother brought his C5 Z06, and he like third gear started acting up.
Yeah,
oh, that's too bad.
It's like halfway through the day, I was just like, you can take my car out for one if you want. He was really impressed.
Yeah,
he liked it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's like, whoa, car.
Yeah, now he's going to be like looking around.
Tuner bug,
yeah. Speaking of tuner bug, it's not that cool. But
prepare to be disappointed.
Yeah, part of this video is exhaust sound. This video I'm working on for my M5.
Oh, you're working on an M5 video?
Yeah, here's a little known fact. I'm working on a solo project.
Has it been a year now?
Probably.
Since I've been talking about it, I don't think so. Since I've been planning about it, yes. Yeah. So I bought mufflers for it, Dynan mufflers, and I found a website that had them cheap. And this
it was substantially cheaper.
Yeah,
right?
there's $1,600 for these 2 mufflers from Dynan, and I found a website that had them for.
I could have got you Flowmasters.
Well, it has. When I bought that car, when I very first bought it, and I was talking to the guy on the phone. He was down in Huntington Beach in LA, and he was like, "It's got mufflers on there. It's got exhaust on it." I don't remember what they are, but they were whatever the best ones they had. Uh-huh. And for any European car, the best mufflers, it's like exhaust for European cars are just stupid. They're stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
You can get like thousands of dollar exhaust for most European cars. Yeah, it's like they're cool, but they're like they're nuts. And the M5 is not really any different. And so in my mind, I was like, hell yeah, like good, some sweet mufflers. And we get there and they're Magna Flows. It's like, wow, you mean like the best ones they had at like Pep Boys? You mean like the best like universal ones they had? So they're fine, but they're pretty boomy. They're just generic.
Sure.
And the Dynon ones are supposed to be like stock plus, like they just sound pretty good. So anyways, I found a website. They're $1,600 from Dynon. I found a website that I have for like $1,150. And I should have like Googled around, vetted the website. I don't know if this existed before the internet, but now there are just sites that like are just kind of shady.
Yeah.
They probably just like drop ship it.
Well, normally it's like,
they don't even like have it on a shelf.
Stock. Normally all those things are like eBay sellers that like they sell like just like a bunch of random shit, and you can tell like you said, like it's just a dude in his living room.
They have like no overhead.
Yeah. No, this is actually a company. I think they have a few employees. But anyways, it's TH Motorsports. I don't mind putting them on blast because fuck them. So do not ever do business with these people. TH Motorsports. They seem pretty popular, and I think what they do is a combination of shady shit and legitimate stuff, so that they like have some traffic. Anyways, TH Motorsports. I order these things. Credit card is charged, and they're like, "Hey, usually ships in like 3 to 5 days from the vendor, from Dynon." I'm like, "Fine." So I wait a week, nothing. And I call them and they're like, "That's weird. They usually ship pretty fast from Dynon." And so like, I'll send an email to our shipping department. You should hear back from them. Meanwhile, I like Google TH Motorsports and it's just like tons of complaints and like, this website sucks and stuff. And I'm like, oh, damn it. Why didn't I bother to look? And so another week goes by, I call and he's like, "Oh, that's weird. Like I sent the shipping department an email, but they must not, like all directly email our like shipping manager and he'll get back to you." And then like 2 days later, now it's been like 3 weeks or something.
God damn, I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, it was almost exactly a month.
I thought all this happened over the course of like a few days.
No, because in my mind I was like, this is one of those things where like if I push it, it'll probably fall through. But maybe if I don't, it might just like work. And so I get this email from a guy and he's like, "Hey, it's like Justin here at TH Motorsports." He's like, "Look, the thing that you ordered, those mufflers from Dynon, that is an old part number and the part number has been superseded. And the new one is like $300 more. So like, sorry that happened. Let me know what you want to do. If you want to do like $300 extra or whatever, or I can like cancel the thing." And I email him back and go, "What's the new part number?" And in the meantime, because it's like that's it's total lie.
There's no new.
There's no fucking new part.
It's like a 15-year-old car.
Yeah. New one. And so like just to like rub it in a little bit, I emailed Dynon and I'm like, "I bought these mufflers and they say there's a new part number. Like, can you confirm or deny whatever?" And they emailed back like, "Nah, we have 8 of them in stock." Like that's not like, let me know if you want one or whatever. And so I reply to him and I'm like, "Dynon says like, what's going on? Like Dynon says the part number didn't change." And like, "I'm just concerned here. You said it was in stock." Like, just kind of like being a little bit of a dick. And then like 2 days later, I get this email. Literally the email says, "We had to cancel your order. We tried really hard, but we couldn't fulfill it." It was like it was such a weird email. I was like, "Look, we really tried. We couldn't
try to negotiate, get that price down.
We couldn't. And it wasn't even that. It was just like, we couldn't fulfill your order." It was like, we tried. It was
we put our best man on.
And so I sent another email to customer service. I was like, "What's going on? Why did it get canceled?" And so I'm waiting for my credit card to get refunded, but I might call just one more time to like rub it in a little bit. Like, "Oh, what's going on, guys? You told me the partner, like, go ahead and ship it at that original price, go ahead."
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of want
I called Dynon. They have them in stock.
Yeah. I just kind of want to make the customer service guys squirm a little bit. But yeah, what a piece of shit company.
Right.
Like, and now it's on their site for $1,600.
Like
they just
changed it.
Yeah. It's just like so shady. So anyways, I ended up buying them from somewhere else. Like, it's still a good deal. It's like $100 more. But I am also tempted. That is one of those cars, and there's a few cars where if you just delete the mufflers, and run a pipe.
Right.
Just no mufflers. They sound awesome.
The Type R's, I don't know about sounding awesome, but that's something that people do.
Where it's just like you just remove the thing.
Just give it a little more life.
Yeah, and it's like $100
because
you just need
that's the one thing about the car that like I don't think you need it for power, but like so many times at the track you just like hit the limiter.
Yeah, you feel the power drop
because
and you realize
especially like windows down, helmet on,
right.
like it's not a loud motor, so. Someone maybe looking into at some point.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm tempted to do a muffler delete for a few weeks till I get tired of it and then put these on, but I don't know.
Maybe you won't get tired.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I won't. Yeah. Because part of me was like, $1,200. Like, did I really need to spend that money? And like, maybe this was a sign and like, maybe I should like not do it. And then like an hour later, it's like, rebuying
I still want it.
Yeah, I still want it.
Rebuying them from another site.
I want it real bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but one thing that stuck out to me, you guys had said at the track day there were Crown Vics.
Yeah, like
even the last time we went, there was one as well.
But that one wasn't a cop, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was.
And I think the same guy was there.
Oh, okay.
He was in our like returning group.
So it's a pretty sweet track car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the P71
ex-police vehicle.
Panther.
Yeah, used cop car. As a track vehicle, pretty awesome. Apparently, he had the siren on too.
Yeah, it was pretty slow, but he was like, getting in. I mean, like the car was slow, but he was right. He was giving it the beans.
Yeah,
he was going.
He was having a good time. Yeah,
that made me think about like just used cop cars in general. I'm guessing our audience knows because they're pretty hip. But in case you guys don't, you can buy retired fleet
police
vehicles, and they pull any vinyl off.
Yeah.
And they pull like the sirens and the lights and like
some of them leave the side mirror lights. I've seen
they leave the side mirror lights. They leave the antennas. They leave the grill.
Like the front like push bar.
Yeah, the push bar thing.
I actually like that push bar. I just like the idea of like cops. Like, let me just fucking push your car.
Push you out of the way. But it's like, I'm sure you've seen them.
Sure.
Where it's like, it always freaks you out.
Yeah.
And they're like almost always in the fast lane because they know. And you're like, oh, here comes a cop. And then you're like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You look at the license plate and it's like some, citizen thing and it's like nothing's on there. Mm-hmm. But they're pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's like sweet and total dick move.
Yeah, when other people do it, I'm like, you jerk. Like they just know. They know what they can get away with.
Yeah.
But they're pretty cool cars. And they're pretty cheap.
That was something we'd always talked about in high school, like the ultimate like high school.
It's like that's probably the ultimate fuck around car.
Fucking vinyl, weird plastic seat in the back.
And you can get them with sweet options. They have like stab plates and stuff through the seats. Like extra reinforced glass.
Weird
like
rubbery floors.
Yeah, like plastic back seats, and you like can't get out of the back seat from the inside.
Right.
And stuff.
You have to be let
your
out.
friends back there and stuff, and like the cage. So yeah, used cop cars, not a bad.
The sweet one is the Chevy Caprice, like the Australian.
I remember reading about the 9C1. 9C1 is the code for the Crown Vic.
No, that's the old Caprice.
Oh no, 9C1's the old Caprice.
Yeah, like
and then
90s.
it's like L something, right? What's the Crown Vic?
That's like P71.
Is it P71? Okay, so 9C1, P71. I remember reading about, like, just kind of looking into them, and there are legitimately like forums where like cops argue about like which ones are better, which is like pretty entertaining. And I remember reading something about like a lot of cops were really disappointed in the Crown Vics
when they replaced the Chevy.
When they replaced the Caprice,
because they stopped making the Caprice in like. It's 97.
Like, yeah, it's like mid 90s or something. But I guess it was just like way faster and just like a much better car.
Well, they had the LT1. It was like the same as the Impala S.
Yeah, and the Crown Vic's what, like a 4-liter?
Like a single. It's like a 4.6 single overhead.
Some like kind of weak motor. Yeah, I remember some guy being like, "Oh, they're like Crown Vic's fine," and one guy was like, "You tell me if you can do like J turn at 140." Like they're just kind of like golden. Like, man, I used to. Like, you're not gonna outrun fucking Caprice. Like, they'll take mine when they pull it out of my cold dead hands. It's like reminiscing about that. I was like, man, I gotta get one of these.
Kind of
all these like lead foot cops. lamenting weak Crown Vics.
I wonder if the same thing happened when they switched to the Charger, because the Chargers are V6s. They're not even the R.
Yeah, I think they're not
even the 5.7.
I don't know. I'm sure at that point.
But nowadays they're all going to the Explorer.
SUVs and
those
stuff.
things look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I kind of want one of those.
Yeah, 10 years from now.
Or at least just to put the wheels on like a regular.
Yeah, steel wheels on a... It's funny, like whatever car becomes the current cop car, it just ruins that car for all other. Like you'll see some old lady in a Crown Vic, and you're like, "Uh-oh, here comes the fuzz." It's like, no, that's like Reginald.
And not even like the Crown, like if it was like the Mercury, like whatever the Mercury version of that thing
within that sphere. Anything that uses the same headlights, but that happens with like a dark blue Explorer.
Right?
Yeah.
Here comes a cop. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things look pretty good though.
Damn.
Made me like Explorers a bit more. Anyways, the whole like cop thing, it kind of ties in with you have more experience with this, but there's a proposal.
Yeah, like a week or two ago, like a California state senator, whatever. He proposed this thing that's like essentially an Autobahn for California.
for like what two of the major freeways.
Yeah, 99 and 5, which are like happen to be like the two freeways that we
it's the two
major
major whatever freeways or interstates that run
it's the
north
way
and
that
south.
It's the way that Mike gets here every time.
Yeah, 99 runs. Where does 99 terminate? LA?
It merges
99
it
is
merges with the 5 like right before the Grapevine.
And then it runs all the way up to, I think, is it 5 that runs up to like Canada or something?
Yeah.
Anyways, they both run north to south. And
Yeah.
they're both major highways.
Yeah,
They're like the
99 is kind of like the old 5, and the new
Yeah.
5 kind of like bypassed all the
Yeah, so they're like major arteries
to get between
up and down
Northern
California.
California and Southern
Yeah,
California.
and they're all the like California kind of runs on these two highways.
Yes.
Like running ag and stuff up and
Right.
down them.
But yeah, he proposed. I think it was essentially adding lanes.
Like it was 2 lanes, right?
Yeah, I think adding 2 lanes to each that would either have no speed limit or like a very high
Very high speed limits.
speed limit.
Yeah.
And he said it was like, to help reduce pollution by keeping the flow of traffic.
Oh, it keeps traffic moving.
That was like part of the. I don't know if that's like actually or just like, oh yeah, that'll
Here's a way to work it.
But yeah, it sounds very like it probably won't happen, but it'd be fucking sweet if it
It'd
did.
be super sweet. I guess like in my mind, the fantasy is that it would be sweet. The reality is you'd have like,
Drivers are really fucking bad.
Yeah, 90% of people aren't going to know that.
nobody would know how to use it. Right?
Yeah.
It was. I think it'd almost be like you wouldn't need like a toll to use it, but it's like you would like need to have like be approved,
Right, a special license or
like
something.
either like an extra degree of training, or just something,
or even like your vehicle needs to be like a certain level of safety,
you can't drive
quality.
That'd be
91 Tacoma loaded up with shit on it.
Yeah, it'd be way too dangerous to not have some additional regulation.
Right, but if they did, fuck.
Man.
But there would still be the Prius driving 70 miles an hour.
You'd be doing a $120 coming up on some Prius, like I'm going fast enough. Yeah, but yeah, that'd be sweet, but probably won't happen.
Yeah, but it's weird because like we like it. I mean, the idea of driving fast is cool, but just like how much time it would save us.
Yeah, it's not so much like, oh, can you imagine how fun that would be? Driving fast isn't fun.
Especially if
it's
you're
just
just in,
way more efficient.
Yeah, especially if you're just in like an arrow straight line.
Yeah, you're just going straight. As some of through Nevada, it's what, 85?
I think 80 or 85. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can legitimately cruise at 90 in parts of it because the speed limit's like 85. And it's fine. You're just saving time.
And there's also not that much traffic out there.
Yeah, it's a straight line for miles.
But I think that's part of the reason why he proposed it is because both of those highways are pretty heavily.
Yeah, totally.
There's a lot of trucks.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
I think obviously there'd be like no big rigs allowed.
Yeah, to do something like that, you have to do like a divorced lane with like a median in the middle, and you like enter every like 10 miles.
Right.
There's like an entrance onto it or something like that. They could do it.
But speaking of another thing, which essentially California, if you don't know, has been built. They started to build this high-speed rail.
Yeah, high-speed rail, which was
system
pitched like
2008.
It is a while ago.
Approved, and they started building it like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then like recently the governor essentially stopped or like limited it
Yeah.
Because the cost and stuff are shockingly just getting out of control.
Yeah, just ballooning.
Yeah, it was just a fucking disaster. Yeah. But here, like, literally like 5 miles from here is where they're actually working on.
Yeah,
I guess they're still going to finish.
Right, they're going to finish a section of it.
But what was interesting, I think someone said, I saw someone, I can't remember if it was an article or a blog post or something. And it was like, what if instead of, because it's a line between like two not that populated cities, like Bakersfield,
what they're going to build,
what they're supposedly going to create.
It was originally going to be like San Francisco to LA, which is like northern-ish California to southern-ish California,
which normally takes like 6 hours to drive,
connecting the major population business centers.
They cut it down to like
this kind of
Bakersfield to what Madera or something.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, 150 miles.
It's like lower Central Valley, California to like medium lower Central Valley, California.
But someone said like, instead of building a train, like use that to build this like autonomous, like a testing bed.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure that'd be hard to pull off. But like the idea, like if a lot of the infrastructure is already there to build this.
Yeah, if you already like marked a course.
Yeah, and it has like bridges and stuff.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
But it's like, if your car is equipped with this, you set it on this, and there should be like, ideally no
traffic,
no cars that don't have it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like contained
a new highway,
right?
Specifically,
and it could be like a test bed for like
that'd be great.
How that could work on like an actual long distance thing.
Yeah, that'd be solid. I'm so glad they stopped that thing.
Yeah.
It was so stupid.
Right. Because they were like, they started with the quote unquote, the easiest section of it because it's all flat land. You don't have to deal with any of California's mountains. And like, they were already like way over budget in like a year. They're like, we don't know why it's so expensive.
It was a huge thing. And I pass it every time I come here. Yeah. And it's just like, they've done like a mile of it or something. It's just after 10 years.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, this is not... It's not good. Stop.
Yeah, so maybe it'll turn into something cool, but probably not.
Yeah. Speaking of driving down here, here's another exciting topic. Plastic bags on the highway. Strap in for some high octane, high adrenaline car talk. Loose
garbage.
Loose debris on the highway. Two things. The thing that made me think of this, as I was not in my lane, but as I was driving down here, there was a legitimate, like, you'll buy like a level, like I'm sure anyone has one. It's like 3-4 foot extruded aluminum level, like a legit large level with like 4 or 5
industrial grade.
Yeah, it's like a solid level. Yeah. But it's got like the small, like balanced little like liquid filled like capsules, like 4 or 5 of them. And there was one of those in the middle of the highway. And it was just like, that's gonna fuck someone up big time. Real bad. That's not a good thing to run over. It's like a combination of like glass and
sharp edges,
metal and edges, and so I was like, that sucks. Like I passed it, and you kind of there's like this sick part of you when you pass something on the highway. You immediately look in your review.
Oh, is he going to get it?
Is anyone going to hit this?
Yeah.
Is anyone going
to see that?
You kind of watch it back there. No one hit it. But it made me just think about like debris on the highway. Right. Like it sucks. It happens, but like you expect the highways to be spotless, essentially, and they're not.
And then you always end up like getting mad at whoever like, well, fucking secure your shit.
You should though.
Or even when you like run over a nail.
Anything.
The worst is like delaminated like semi truck tires.
Oh yeah, those suck.
Like it's just like because like my girlfriend hit one like just in town like on 99 and just like it got like it fucked up her front bumper and stuff like this was on the Versa, so thankfully we got rid of that car. But it's just like if that happens to a truck driver, like shouldn't they like walk back and try to pick up their fucking huge piece of rubber?
Yeah,
they don't give a fuck.
Well, I don't know if they can tell. That's one part of it. I mean, I think you just retread truck tires.
Right, yeah, you do.
But I don't know if it's like, whoops, like a flat. I don't know. But also it's just pretty sketchy.
Right.
To like, I don't know if I would trust a citizen to like run out there traffic and try to get. It's just a shitty situation.
Actually, that reminds me. My brother's wife, like a year ago or something, she like ran over something that fell off a truck, like a bunch of nails or something. Like fucked up her car. Like her car was like in the shop for like I had to do like an insurance claim, just like something fell off my truck.
Yeah, totally
fucked up someone's day.
Yeah, people. I mean, it's like. The small stuff is one thing, but like big shit will fall off.
And I think it was like at night, so it's not like you can just like steer around it.
Exactly,
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one. So those are all good examples. The one I was laughing about is like a plastic bag.
A little more harmless.
Something that is light enough to float in the wind.
You're right.
And it's like unpredictable.
Yeah, you see it coming and you're trying to like, how am I going to juke this? You're trying to like time it. Like it kind of gets blown around.
Yeah.
And you're like, how much effort do I put into like trying to avoid this thing?
It like picks up a draft off a car going.
Yeah, it'll like swirl around and it's like, oh, it's out of my lane. Oh, it's back in my lane. It's like, it's a plastic bag. Don't worry about it. It's not a deer. You don't want to hit anything.
It like goes right into your intake.
Yeah. Or like you think you miss it and you hit it and then you're like staring in your rearview mirror.
And you don't see it.
Like,
it's like caught on your axle or something like that.
Yeah. What's it doing? Yeah. Or you'll see someone driving and they've got like half their front bumper covered by some plastic. It's a pretty weak look.
Your car starts overheating.
That also reminds me, I went to, the other day we were driving to San Francisco. And I think 2 or 3 different times in the Bay Area, I saw like entire bumpers on the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like,
what's the story?
First of all, you're like trying to like, what is that? Like 98 Camry?
Yeah.
You're
like trying to tell what bumper it is.
And I'm like, how do you lose your entire bumper?
And why do you just leave it? Oh, it's lost.
Man, this will decompose. You just kind of just like loosely kick it toward the sidewalk.
Bumper just sitting on the
yeah.
Well, yes.
Or when someone drives by and like their shit is just dragging on the ground, like their bumper, like the under body tray is just like dragging on my. It's like, man, get a zip tie. It's just like terrible.
Maybe that stuff doesn't happen in the States where they actually have like vehicle
inspections.
I wonder.
Or maybe not as much.
Chime in, people. I told you this was a hot topic. The thing that I was laughing about, it reminded me of our friend Robert. Is that what he goes by? Oh, yeah. Riley. Was that his last name?
Robert Riley.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up, Robert?
Yeah. What's up, Robert? I don't know if he listens or not, but cool guy. But he had a like late 90s Integra that he turbocharged, a GSR. And I remember talking to him about this topic to him because shit on the highway is one thing, but if you're in a lowered car, it's a whole.
You're like constantly.
It's a whole nother thing, like big dips in the road or litter. Yeah, it's like you can do some real damage, not just bumpers. But I think it may have been a stock car, but I think he may have also had. It might have been like he had a bigger oil pan or something. So the oil pan was a different shape. I don't totally remember. But I remember him talking about
clearance
crap on the highway, and he was saying there's like a triangle of clearance under my car, where it's the combination of like control arm, oil pan,
sway bar,
exhaust. Like, there's enough things where it's like if I'm gonna hit something, if I'm gonna not hit something, it has to go through this triangle. there's a clear shot under my car, and just how like white knuckled, like butt clenching. It's like, oh, here comes like a little scrap of wood, and it's like try to line it up at the triangle, and then like how sweet it is when he gets it, and like cruise through like super soundly without hitting anything. It's all this satisfying feeling when you successfully straddle some crap on the road.
Oh, I did it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or like you swerve kind of late and the guy behind you is like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
it's your problem now, buddy.
Yeah, good luck. Enjoy tailgating me. It's just like clobbers his shit. Yeah. Robert, I forgot about that guy. Thinking about him reminded me of someone was talking about him street racing or
as we used to do back in the day.
It could have been at the track.
This is a heavy Robert episode, so I hope he listens to this. But I remember someone saying like that guy can row gears. Like that guy can bang gears.
He can get the most.
He's got the talent. He's got the gift.
Yeah, like he like Riley can row some gears. That sticks out to me. And I was laughing, thinking about like, yeah, that's totally like a skill. Like, how fast can you shift? Because there was a time when automatic sucked, stick was faster, and now automatics shift so much faster than stick. But
and with the stick, you needed to be like good.
You needed to be good.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing this guy drive, I think a Mustang. And I was next to him in a car, and he was shifting, and it was just like, bah, bah. It's like, damn, that dude can row some gears. Like, he really can. Like, I was just laughing about the topic. It's seldom talked about when people just shift shit super fast.
Yeah, you're not even talking about like driving technique. You're just talking about like this guy can just ram. This
is straight speed. It's not like he's good at heel towing. Like he can hit apex. Like no, he can just fucking
mash that,
just bang
gear lever,
motherfucking gears real fast. Like
takes him like a split second to engage the clutch.
Yeah, it was like how many like bent shift forks in like old Integras are there from dudes just because that used to be the deciding factor. It was like you're losing time with that shift.
Yeah.
So how fast can you just like move between these?
Yeah, and you could always tell from the outside like how hard they're shifting.
Yeah. You put your whole body into that. It's like I very rarely do that when I drive. No. Like if I drive a car, it's like you're shifting kind of easy.
And then even, then even at the
like,
track, you don't drive like that. At the
you're
track.
not like milliseconds.
Full on effort. Just no regard for synchro, just violently shifting. It's a seldom talked about topic.
It's very important.
It's very important. How rude can you be to that like clutch shifter drivetrain? And so I'd like to present to you probably the sweetest video
ever.
Not
as good as the German.
This is second.
It's
second
right.
sweetest.
Okay, it says right up there.
Second sweetest, right up there. But this is an old review of a
Corvette,
a C4 ZR1, and it's a dude showing.
This is like circa what 9?
I mean, whenever that was, whenever that came
was,
out, so like 92 or something. And he was showing like the acceleration. And it's a video of him doing a 0 to 60 in this ZR1. But I present to you, if you're listening to this on iTunes, go find this part in the description. Because you're gonna want to see this dude rowing gears
Spectacle.
Like a badass. Yeah. So here's this.
What we can't do in a video is let you feel the sensation as you're pushed back into your seat. But trust us, it's not a feeling you'll easily forget.
And this, the hard cut. The hard cut is the best part.
Yeah, back to whatever the fuck we were talking about. Like, after you just watch this dude, like,
well, what is that from? It's not Motor Week.
It's not. I don't even know what it is. It's just like it literally says owner's video. I think the guy might have just made it.
He looked like he was in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he's strapping.
I love like the third to fourth shift. Like he kind of does this like phantom, like, you know, like while he's still revving out the motor, like he makes this gesture like he's gonna shift.
Oh, does he prep?
But he doesn't. Like, yeah, he's just like
prep.
It's like a split second where he's like practicing or something.
Yeah,
and the top's down, which is the best.
Hair flowing,
he's getting in the zone.
Like, geez, what happened between that generation and ours? Where what gender is he? Like, how is this guy so masculine? Oh man, I don't know why I love that video so much. Not that popular of a video.
Yeah, maybe it will be.
Yeah, now it'll get the Car Bros bump. 35 additional views, like unorthodox
unbox.
Just broke their channel. Oh man, that definitely reminds me of how sweet reviewing cars used to be.
Yes,
because right now it's just so lame. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
It's like a joke.
It's whatever, but it's really just a bunch of like kids with like political opinions, like whining about cars and like black plastic and shit. And it used to be like treacherous because cars were to test the performance of a car. Now they're good.
Right.
There are many, many cars.
And the limits that they're tested in are like so far below the abilities of a modern car. Like like a whatever 70-0 panic stops like okay,
like they stop well.
Yeah.
It's like
even the shittiest ones stop well.
Even the shittiest cars, include performance cars, all cars right now are pretty good at the limits.
Right.
They're not crazy. They used to be a fucking lab experiment. It's like the shit that car companies used to make. Legitimate car companies, not like not like Tucker, not some like weird startup.
Like good cars.
All like cars used to just be nuts at the limit,
especially
like, dangerous.
The like 60s and 70s, those like car and track. Those are so
like
sweet.
The slalom tests and stuff like that.
They're doing like the whatever, like 68 Impala.
Yeah, here we'll throw a little. Here's a little like taste of something.
We had drum brakes on the after wheels with discs up front. In our entire time on the braking course, heat buildup was not excessive, nor was pedal fade. From 30 miles an hour, it took 38 feet to stop. The springs on this Impala were soft, and we thought the nose would dive right into the asphalt. From 45, it stopped in 67 feet. These brakes were pulling to the left severely. However, we don't make adjustments. We drive them as they are and show them like it is. From 60 miles an hour, 155 feet. This new Impala seemed to have a softer ride than last year's model. Up front there were wishbones and coil springs. In the rear, a live axle with coil springs. We've always liked Chevy's power steering. It allows a good feel of the road. When coming into a corner at average speed, steering is about neutral. But when you push it through, hard understeer sets in, and the front end washes out. With our lack of power up front, it was difficult to drive through any corner.
They'll
like the tires are like almost de-beating off the wheels.
And they'll be like, this handling sporty.
it's just like
huge body roll.
It's like terminal understeer into like chronic oversteer.
The guy's like losing it. He's like, that's pretty
controllable.
It's pretty kept together. It's tight.
Yeah, and they do the like panic stop, and the car's like does like a 180. It's fairly controllable.
They'll lock up the brakes, and it's just like. You would not want to be. It used to be like you would not want to be in a situation where you had to panic stop. Now it's like, you hope you can stop, but you just haul on the brakes, and the car figures it out.
Half the cars will fucking do it for you.
Half the cars you could be texting, it'll brake for you, and like the seatbelt locks up and keeps you in place, and it's like everything's fine. It used to be like, well, we might die,
and like that car and track, and then Motor Week, which is fucking institution. Especially the fact that they have like all of their old
videos
going back like 30 years.
Motor Week is
the fucking best.
The bet. Motor Week is this unchanged format.
Yes.
What's the guy's name? What's the host?
John Davis.
Yeah, John Davis, something like that. Motor Week, whatever it was in the 90s, they haven't changed a thing. It's like
the same style of talking, the same
like muscle cars, like for 40 years, Mustang and Camaro. Like, are these two pony cars still? It's like same format, identical to what it's always been.
Now Acura has the new Integra.
Let's see if this sporty hatch can. It's like they haven't changed anything. It's like, internet trends, fuck that. Like we're not doing nothing different.
And they have all their like old like 80s.
Yeah, if you want to get lost for like a good solid half a day or something, if you're doing post-lunch boredom, like dig your way through Motor Week reviews, retro reviews of like your old favorite cars,
and they're fucking sweet.
But the especially good one, why we got onto this topic was just like how bad cars used to be.
At least like, in like those kind of
60s,
and those sort of like late 80s.
Yeah, even through late 80s where they're just like,
because there was one we were watching, it was like the minivans of 88.
We went back after like ranting about minivans. We went back and saw like the genesis of them. And I mean, it looks like prototypes. Like they'll test stuff and it's like they let it leave like that. Like the finished van product, will do like an endo, and then like the rear will start like hopping and stuff. And this is from like 70. This is a panic stop from like highway speeds.
They're doing like the Dodge Caravan, and you can see the rear axle just a straight like bar.
It's pretty awesome. But like you used to have some serious like
some bravado.
Skill, some machismo
to review a car.
Because it was like bull riding or something. It wasn't just jump in and like talk about the
infotainment.
Yeah, like
steering feel.
Yeah, steering wheel. There's not quite as much. Like, no, you had to be able to navigate 4 wheels locking up. 90% of the weight over the front axle and stuff.
And they're slow as shit, too.
Super slow.
It's like 0 to 60 in like 16 seconds.
Yeah, and they'll be like, modest. It's so funny how just like definitions of performance and stuff changes over time. Because even those would be like, oh, the acceleration's terrible, like 0 to 60 in 20 seconds. Like, but the Caravan's great, like 0 to 60 in 13 seconds. Like, it blew the other ones out of the water. It's like, you would be dangerous on the road in that thing.
And now people call like a 9 second 0 to 60 like gutless.
Yeah, abysmal.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even like get out of its own way.
It's frightening.
Yeah, it was as fast as like a Countach or something in like the late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy just how much that stuff has changed. But like old car reviews are pretty great.
Sweet, yeah.
They're pretty sweet.
And it was back, like I say, it goes back to a time when like when you reviewed cars, you actually had to be a professional, like good.
Yeah, the people were like in suits.
You couldn't just start your own.
Yeah, they took themselves seriously, and there's a lot. They had self-respect.
Yep.
So those are the good old days.
There was no like, let's just come up with some hot take.
Yeah, yeah. We would not have been able to cut it.
Cars would have
been squashed by Jim Davis. Would have John Davis.
That's his name, right? I'm pretty sure it is.
Broke our kneecaps. Or
remember we were joking about him like doing like a Top Gear-esque like adventure.
Oh yeah. We were thinking it'd be funny if like Motor Week tried to. It's like, all right, John,
jump on the bandwagon.
Like the old format's not cutting it. Yeah. We need you to go to.
You're going to Brazil.
Yeah, you need to go to the Amazon and like build a boat. You're trying to compete with like Clarkson and stuff. You have to get a supercar and drive it across the Sahara,
Siberia.
I don't know. Come on. We need those clicks.
Fuel economy was decent.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, maybe we'll put a link to like a few of our
favorites.
Check the description. We'll put a few we'll put the minivan one in there. And we'll put like some cool some
good stuff.
60s one or something. Yeah, some of the better ones. Okay. Anyways, thank you again for
being
the
live stream.
Week. Sweet. Thank you for all the new patrons that this episode this episode has generated. Thanks for all the comments and feedback. Sorry we didn't get to one this episode. Dang.
Oh yeah, we've got them.
Dang. Sorry about that, guys. Appreciate the comments and feedback. We will continue to get to them. Keep it coming. And see you next week. Hope you enjoyed.
See you next time.
See you.
Bye.